What's going on, guys? It is Larry MF White, and I am here with my boy Marcus Willard. What's up, brother? How you doing up there?
Oh man, yeah. So this is not a boat, by the way. Everybody asks. Okay, this is a actual utility trailer, and I'm in Vancouver Island. So if anybody knows, that's north of Washington in the United States. You head up to Vancouver, you cross on a ferry, and then you get to the island. And I'm in a little town called Parksville.
It's a beautiful place. If you've never been, do you have to, anytime you leave the island, do you have to take the little commuter planes?
No. I mean, you could fly there directly, but no, I mean, it's just on a ferry. You get on a ferry, like you drive right in, and then you're off. And you would head into a place called Nanaimo, and you drive about 20 kilometers. For people that want me to translate.
Yeah, nobody has any clue what the hell you're talking about right now, man. Like, people are like, what language is this guy talking, eh? No, bro. Well, I'm thrilled to have you here, right? So we've been talking for quite some time, a couple of years now. And I know that you've been with Street Tech since about 2015. And I hear agents talk to me all the time, like, lead generation is such a big thing, but more importantly, listing lead generation. There's an abundant sources of buyer leads. How do we produce more listing leads? And you guys are always one company that is at the top of my list, right? Not so much that, like, I love you to death, right? You're a fitness enthusiast. Like, we've just kind of hit it off. You live up there in such a cool place. But your guys' company in general is almost like a solution for a low-cost seller lead. And you guys help agents create these authentic relationships through the use of video and automation, right?
100%. It's called, I mean, essentially it's digitally door knocking your way into the future. You got to understand that social media obviously is a place where billions of people are. Who are spending now, like what studies show, more than an hour a day scrolling down their feed. So you want to be in that place because that's where they are. It's essentially, what do you put in front of them? And then how do you take that click into a conversation? So that's what it comes down to.
I love it. And for those of you guys that have worked with me in the past, before I bring anybody on, before I ever recommend a product or anything like that, I have to try it myself, right? Like, I will not recommend anything to my team, anything to any of my clients that I can't verify, because we're in a world where everybody makes it sound so good. Yeah. But man, I have example after example. I have brand new agents, been in real estate less than a year, out of Bend, Oregon, that takes 2 listings in her first week with Street Techs. I have one of my favorite Tom Ferry clients in the world out of Sheboygan, Wisconsin. And literally, as we track and measure his numbers, there was 1 month, I believe he had 83 listing leads in 1 month, right? So the only reason that I'm bringing this or even having this conversation is because I'm seeing it work time and time again. So let's jump into it, man. As people are starting to want to produce more listing leads and stuff like that, I want to leave them here, whether they decide to use you guys or not, with a couple of takeaways.
Sure.
So somebody wants to start producing some leads themselves, right? And they know that Facebook is the platform that they want to do.
Yeah.
Like, dude, what do they have to start doing? Like, what's the number one thing?
Well, I mean, number one, you want to put out a ad out there that's going to get clicks, right? So, I mean, and clicks are the start part of this, but you also got to realize that your click needs to translate to a contact at a very high percentage. So if you're getting a bunch of clicks, but there's no one putting their information in it, chances are you're trying to collect too much information. So there's an art in leveraging what we call a dynamic lead capture model. Would it help to share my screen?
Yeah, if you can share on your side, like, let's show them, because that's one of the things that I love. Okay. Is I can see like 86% of this ad gets an email address, 40% gets a phone number, etc.
100%. So let me see. I'm going to go to my Chrome tab, and I'm going to share. This is interesting because I've never used this one before, so it'll be a first for me. Let me try it. Okay. Can you see what I'm doing?
Not yet, but now we can. Boom.
Okay, boom. All right. So here's an ad template that we use, and it's actually kind of funny because everybody always asks, well, why would you use the map? Well, the map itself is something that everybody is very, they use every day. Whether you're using Google application or you're driving somewhere, it's not invasive. It's really easy. You can recognize your area very, it's just familiar, right? A map works. Now, the verbiage itself says, if someone were to buy your home, would you sell it? Find its value in the current market. So it's really easy. We use some emojis. Emojis draw your eyes up. You obviously see your area. And for everybody in the United States, you also got to recognize that you have to always think about the 15-mile minimum radius. Okay. Because most people don't realize that you can't just go and say, I'm going to go to, Target, Alpharetta, or some, town. I mean, you could try, but Facebook will automatically throw 15 miles around it. So you're adjusting the eyes to relate to that 15 miles. And so when you put this ad in front of somebody, it's interruption-based marketing at its finest, because they're scrolling down their news feed, they're seeing all their friends' updates, they're on their smartphones, they wouldn't see anything to the left or the right. And really, what makes it so successful, I believe, is that moment they go into the next click, which that click translates to this very congruent experience. Now, can you see this, Larry?
So I still see the map right this second.
Okay, it should translate, but if it doesn't, well, maybe it's because here what I'll do is I'll click on it and see if it goes to the, I'm going to stop my screen share for a second and go back to you.
All right.
Okay, it's just, it doesn't follow the same thing as Zoom does. So I'm just translating.
Yeah, no, we'll make it work, man.
Yeah, we'll make it work. So when I share my screen now, let me go back to the share screen option, go to application window, and Chrome tab, and then I'll go to this one right here. So the key on here, now it should show up. Okay, so if you see this one, and this is the add image to the first landing page. You see this now, Larry?
I do, yeah.
Okay. So click to contact. We have something in the industry that's unheard of. It's anywhere from 60 to 70% on any given average month is the click to contact ratio. Because what that means is when they submit their information, we're not asking for everything up front. We're just asking for an address, okay?
Yeah.
And so what the key is, yes, we're going to be asking for more information, starting with the address, then the email, which they have to give permission for, information about their home, time frame for selling, name and phone number. And what's happening on the background is that that's translating to automatic connections, face-to-face.
Okay.
So we leverage, or everybody probably heard of something called BombBomb.
Yeah.
If you haven't, go check it out, because it's kind of the modern video email technology out there. And so the moment they submit their email and give permission is the moment they introduce you.
Got it.
You're face with them, and you're just like, hey, it's Marcus from Remax Kelowna. Thank you so much for your Facebook home valuation request. I'll be working on it shortly. Could be that simple.
Got it. And so that brings us into kind of the rapport building and relationship aspect of it, right? Because what I coach and train agents on is, man, if you're not using video, right, I can tell if Marcus has an accent, right? If you have a Texas Longhorn flag in the background, I'm like, yeah, hook them, right? Like,
Yes.
If you have a twang, whatever it might be, this is how we become personal, and we lose that via text sometimes that's on there. So that is part of how we create those authentic relationships.
Yeah, well, and taking a step back, when people start off with street text, for example, we immediately have them come in and run 3 identical ads. The reason being is because it's something called a split test. And a split test means you're actually not changing the ad copy or the ad imagery, because that works. What you are changing is the audience itself. When you're running 15 miles, you're split testing the audience. Facebook will make a performance standard. They call it their algorithm. And first few hundred people reached. And if you assume that they're going to best represent you on the seller side in 15 miles, when there's potentially millions of people there, within $5 to $10 of ad spend, you're going to be dead wrong, because it could be a beautiful day where you're getting mass amount of clicks and mass amount of leads, even with as early as $9 of ad spend. On the other side of that, you could just have a bad audience and you got nothing in the first $9. So we create a split test that almost works at 100% of the time. You find one ad that results in lots of contacts coming in, and the contacts will break down to addresses, emails, phone numbers, and so forth. So if you're going to get a good ad performance, then you shift your whole mindset and process into what can I do to get them to have a conversation with me. And that's why you need video. And that's why even with an AI that automatically texts those leads, it needs to feel personal. It needs to feel like they can talk to you, and it's not some sort of artificial intelligence, right? As we know, that could get you into trouble.
So if I'm hearing you correctly, the first part is have the right ad and make sure that we're split testing, right? And so we track and measure everything.
Everything.
Can you show a picture of your back end, your dashboard, that actually where you guys have tracked and measured all of this information already, yes, so that, you know, yes, it's not just a guessing game for agents?
Yes, it makes it so easy to understand too, because when you look at our data, it's actually better than trying to figure out on your ad manager. Your ad manager, by the way, for most people, it's like we call it the labyrinth of confusion. Like, you're trying to figure out what the stats mean and how to analyze the data. Here's as easy as it really gets. We take that ad data and just make it translatable for you. So cost per click, that's obvious. You know, how many people have been reached, how much you've spent, how many leads, and we break that down into a cost per lead, and then how many emails you've accumulated as well with that spend. And you can see here, it translates to a cost per email. Not only can you see your ad, but you also can view your ad itself. And the most important part of that is you're going to want to do that anyways, because when you think about it, you need to put yourself in the shoes of the homeowner. You need to feel and experience this yourself, and then start making changes to say, hey, and you share this with your colleagues too, and to say, hey, would I respond to this? If I were a homeowner, would I like, and ask your colleagues, ask people, you know, not your hubby that will tell you whatever they want you to, whatever you want them to, people that would give you constructive feedback. And that's why we have a community. We have a community that helps and sharpens you so you can see what that looks like.
Well, before we get into that, right, like from a coaching perspective, right, what we track and measure gets results. And so when I'm hearing you guys from the split testing, from all of the data and stuff that you guys collect, people can see what's working and fast, right? Like, you're not asking them to test this out for a month without results. I mean, they're going to test it for 12 to 24 hours. If they're not getting results, then you guys are going to coach and train them to kind of
pause the ad and let's run another split. I mean, that's, you know, there's so many ways to do that. There's so many different ad copies and templates and formulas to tap into it. But the split test, it's really, conservatively speaking, 3 of the same ads for 24 hours, let the best ad win, and then shift our entire coaching and process into conversion, which is all about really conversations, not conversions.
Beautiful. And now I think you were getting into kind of the iron sharpens iron, right? Which is any part of, a coaching community or a company, right? Like, a rising tide raises all ships. And you guys are growing massively now with some of the top agents in the country, which are now part of your guys' community, right?
No, let me show you just a quick example of that. So I'm going to share my screen again. And so this is my personal Facebook, I'm thinking, but I wanted to show you my Street Text Insider group community. This is my favorite community because I pin and post things in here that are only going to show you the top conversion videos out there, the examples. You know, anytime we get a win, we want to highlight it. When we want to break it down, we want to show you from top to bottom how they got that conversation started. We got masterminds every Wednesday. We have conversion workshops. Like, it is loaded with, here's an example of how Jennifer and Winnie convert so many leads. It's loaded with so many examples of how to create conversations with people you've never met before. And it just really comes down to being genuine and authentic, and, seeing that person as an individual and creating like a discovery moment. That's why we call it know, like, trust, right? We know that it's know and like model that naturally evolves into a trust. And you have to be willing to be a go-giver. You have to be willing to come from contribution, to expect nothing in return other than putting your best foot forward and giving them the best experience possible. So you can do that on a scalable way, but you have to be intentional with your personal follow-up as well. And that's why you'll start seeing a lot of our top agents, they use Facebook as a CRM. They're looking to connect with people through Facebook Messenger, because once you get that connection, it makes you relatable. Like, they can see your family, they can see your kids, they can see like what you like outside of real estate, right? Quote unquote. They see that you're a real person with interests outside, like, of just trying to sell their home.
Absolutely, dude. I love it. And everybody that I've referred over has just crushed it with you guys as far as number of leads, number of listings. And also, I mean, just your guys' community. You guys run mastermind groups every single week. You guys are posting what's winning and stuff, so people don't have to recreate the wheel.
Yes, put your own twist on it. You take what's working and make it your own.
Absolutely, dude. I absolutely love it. Guys, if you do not have enough listings and you have a budget, right, that you guys are looking for ad spend, don't recreate the wheel. I've actually put a link down here to StreetText. You guys can have a free trial. Like, you know, is it 7 days that they can kind of
7-day trial? And don't forget, we're known for sellers, but we also do buyers. We also do listings. We do custom ads, rent to own, you name it. Like the possibilities are endless. You just got to be open to learn and surround yourself with the community, and you can generate whatever type of lead you want.
Beautiful. Marcus Willard, thank you so much for joining me, dropping a few nuggets on all of these folks and stuff here. Guys, if you need anything from Marcus, man, like he'll be tagged on this. Make sure that you reach out to him directly. You want some more info on StreetText, you want that free test drive, go ahead, just click on the link down there. Don't take my word for it. Test it, right? Like sign up for it, run it for free.
Facebook me. Like that's the best way to get a hold of me. If you want to be intentional about creating a relationship, message me on Facebook. I'll find you. We'll have a conversation. We'll set up a complimentary one-on-one as well.
And I can tell you that works because that's how Marcus and I got in touch to begin with. He was intentional. He sent out a message. And I was like, oh, like, all right, like video message. Like, so he practices what he preaches. He's not BSing you guys. This is what he does every single day. And they're teaching others how to systematize it as well. So Marcus, thank you so much for your time again, my brother. We'll get this out and hopefully we'll get some more testimonials and stuff that come from this, and we'll just keep dropping some knowledge on folks down the road.
Hey man, thanks for having me. I really appreciate you.
Absolutely. Have fun, guys. Have a great day.
Thank you.